Good morning, my friends. It is Tuesday and it is June 2nd, 2020. And today it is Seth's birthday. So happy birthday to our friend Seth. Tadpole is here just for a few little scratches and then he's going to go off to play, I am sure, because he was not real thrilled about coming over to be in our video today. Our word of the day today is thrill. And a thrill, it is a verb. When something thrills you is when you feel great excitement. So you might have a great thrill when you get to open your birthday presents or on Christmas morning maybe, or if you get to go on a vacation, or even just going to the water park and going down the slide might give you a great thrill. So the sentence they have on our handy dandy cards here is, the thought of one day getting to fly to outer space thrills me. I think we only have we have one more word of the day, and then we are done with those. The rest of them, I think, are still stuck at school, so we'll just be out of luck. All right, so today I'm going to finish reading our Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride book. Yesterday, remember that we left the story with the police officer trying to pull over Mercy driving the car, and that baby from next door was hiding in the back seat. So we'll finish the book today. Chapter 10. Back on Deckerwood Drive, Mrs. Watson invited Eugenia inside. There's no point in worrying alone, Mrs. Watson said. Come in and help me fix the snack for my darlings. Mrs. Watson brought Eugenia into the kitchen. Will you help me butter some toast? Asked Mrs. Watson. Toast, grumbled Eugenia. Who cares about toast? Don't worry, said Mrs. Watson. She patted Eugenia on the back. If baby is with Mr. Watson, then she is just fine. Mr. Watson is an excellent driver. He is a menace, said Eugenia. Pardon? Said Mrs. Watson. Nothing, said Eugenia. She picked up a piece of toast. No pictures on this page. It's kind of a boring page. There's a better page. She applied the tiniest amount of butter. Oh, heavens, said Mrs. Watson. You have to put on more than that. Mercy likes a great deal of butter on her toast. Who cares how pigs like their toast? Eugenia said. There, said Mrs. Watson. I know you are worried, but everything will work out. Baby will come home. In the meantime, why don't we just concentrate on our buttering? Toast is not the answer, grumbled Eugenia, but she buttered another piece anyway. Do you notice that the page numbers are little toasts? Chapter 11. You must stop the car, shouted Officer Tomilio. But I cannot stop the car, said Mr. Watson. Oink, oink, said Mercy. She was having an excellent time. I have an idea, Mr. Watson, said Baby Lincoln. If you tell me where the brake pedal is, I will apply it. The brake pedal, said Mr. Watson from underneath Mercy, is the pedal to the left of the gas pedal. The brake pedal is the pedal that I do not have my foot on. Baby unbuckled her seatbelt. She climbed into the front seat. She put her seatbelt on. She slid as close to Mr. Watson as she could. She looked down. She saw Mr. Watson's foot, and she saw the pedal next to it. Safety first, she put her seatbelt on. I have located the brake pedal, Mr. Watson, Baby announced. Excellent, said Mr. Watson. Now apply it. Baby stretched across Mr. Watson. I am applying the brake pedal, Mr. Watson, Baby shouted. Hold on, everyone. Chapter 12. The car screeched. The car shuddered. The car careened. The car caroomed. And finally, the car stopped. Mercy was very surprised. Suddenly, she was not driving the car. Suddenly, she was not even in the car. Suddenly, Mercy was airborne. Mr. Watson was wearing his seatbelt. He did not fly out of the car. Baby Lincoln was wearing her seatbelt. She did not fly out of the car. Officer Tomilio was safe in his police cruiser. He did not fly out of his car. Only Mercy flew. Oh dear, said Baby. It's an emergency, shouted Mr. Watson. Alert the fire department. Was that pig wearing a seatbelt? Officer Tomilio asked. No, he answered himself. That pig most certainly was not. Have laws been broken here? Asked Officer Tomilio. Most certainly, most definitely, laws have been broken here. Mr. Watson and Baby Lincoln and Officer Tamilio watched Mercy fly. They watched her land. Oof! Chapel's barking at his baby gator. He's also knocking all the pillows off the couch. He's so helpful. Mr. Watson got out of the car. He ran to Mercy. He wrapped his arms around her and held her tight. "My darling, my dear," he said, "please tell me that you are all right." "Oink," said Mercy. She snuffled Mr. Watson's neck. "Hooray," said Baby, "she is fine." "Oh, thank you," said Mr. Watson. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." He bent his head and covered the tips of Mercy's ears with kisses. "You are a miracle, a prodigy, and a dear," Mr. Watson said. "You are a porcine wonder, but even a porcine wonders cannot drive. In fact, porcine wonders should never be allowed to drive. Ever." Mercy sighed. She was glad the ride was over. She felt a tiny bit dizzy and a little bit dazed. She wanted very much to go home. Chapter 13. Eugenia Lincoln and Mrs. Watson stood together on the Watsons' front porch. They watched the police car pull up into the driveway. Mr. Watson and Mercy and Baby Lincoln were all in the back seat. "As I suspected," said Eugenia. "Trouble, folly, and that pig is right in the middle of it." "Oh," said Mrs. Watson, "my darlings, my dears." She ran out to the police car. "I am so glad that you are home. Your toast was starting to get cold." Mr. Watson and Baby Lincoln got out of the car. "We had something of an adventure, Mrs. Watson," Mr. Watson said. "Yes," said Baby. "We've had an adventure, sister." "Folly," replied Eugenia Lincoln. "Yes," agreed Baby Lincoln happily. "Folly." "Laws have been broken," said Officer Tamilio. "Pig!" shouted Eugenia. "Excuse me," said Mr. Officer Tamilio. "It's all that pig's fault," said Eugenia. She pointed at Mercy. Mercy climbed out of the car. She put her nose up into the air. She sniffed. Could it be? Yes, it was. Toast. Toast with a great deal of butter on it. What could be better? Chapter 14. "Laws have been broken," said Officer Tamilio. "Tickets must be written." "Officer, do you like toast?" Mrs. Watson asked. "Toast?" said Officer Tamilio. "Do I like toast? Why, yes, I do. I do like toast." "Why don't you come inside and have some?" asked Mrs. Watson. "Why don't I come inside and have some toast?" asked Officer Tamilio. Said Officer Tamilio. "I can't think of a reason not to." "Lovely," said Mrs. Watson. She clapped her hands together. "Right this way." "What nonsense," grumbled Eugenia Lincoln. "Toast is not the answer." "No, sister," said Baby Lincoln, "but it does smell heavenly." She took hold of Eugenia's hand. "Well," said Eugenia, "it has been expertly buttered." And so, that Saturday, Officer Tamilio and Eugenia Lincoln and Baby Lincoln and Mrs. Watson and Mercy Watson all sat around the table together and ate hot buttered toast. Did Mercy Watson have extra helpings? She did, and so did Officer Tamilio. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. I think Mercy got herself quite a thrill today in our story at the very end of that. I hope you all have a great day. It is supposed to be very steamy and hot outside today, so please make sure that you are drinking lots and lots of water and maybe have some popsicles or ice cream today to help keep yourself cool. It is supposed to rain later tonight and I think maybe again tomorrow, so it might be kind of a wet day. I will see you tomorrow. Love and hugs for everybody. Chapel's coming to say goodbye, apparently. He came running over. Bye, guys.